Hello, it's not Friday because I'm cheating, but this has started really well. It's not Friday, I'm cheating, but I wanted to record this today because we've been up to the AccountingWeb offices today, the AccountingWeb offices, to record a podcast, and it was a nice opportunity to have a special guest. So Rachel and I are friends for the... Oh, that's official? Yeah. All right, loser.
Friends. Accounting
Rachel and I are friends, accounting friends, and we've been meaning to film something together for ages, actually. Yeah. And because I was here and she was here, I was like, this was a really good opportunity to do it. We tend to share in our little WhatsApps with each other voice notes, just talking about the trials and tribulations of running a firm and a growing business and being women in business, and deluxe pyjamas. Dogs.
Having husbands who are Labradors.
Yes. Yeah. And basically, this was just a really good chance to get her on film. If everyone must know Rachel, but off of Accountant She, a huge online brand, and unwrapping the myths and stopping gatekeeping the information about what it's actually like to grow a business. But we had a really interesting chat. So this week's kind of theme has been data this week. And I've had some really interesting conversations with people about data. So I got super frustrated yesterday with a member of my team, and it was not their fault. It was 100% my fault. And I realised the importance of explaining to people why they need to understand where the data comes from. Because she'd learnt to run this report and was replicating what she'd been taught to do. And I looked at this thing yesterday, I was like, that figure looks strange. And I went back, I was like, this figure looks odd. She's like, well, I'm just doing what I was taught to do.
Does it make sense?
But does it make sense? And so I realised then, and I got frustrated mainly at myself, that I hadn't properly explained why this data was important. And I just said to her, look, this is a coachable thing now. This is me coaching you, and myself, actually, if I'm entirely honest. Why am I running this report? What is it for? And that was my big learning this week, is that just because, and it happens, I think, when you grow a business, when you grow a business and you delegate teaching tasks to other people, it gets diluted when you're not attached to it directly. And I'd forgotten that, and this had been passed down and kind of diluted through whispers as this task had been passed down. So we just had to do a bit of a reset on it, and that was really interesting for me. So that was my data thing this week.
But I feel like our business, we almost franchised on the inside in order to scale it so rapidly, and with process notes, and by franchising on the inside, I mean every single thing is processes, procedures, templates, but not to make it so that people turn into robots, but to make it so that people are only spending brain capacity on things that I really want to pay them to spend brain capacity on. And so actually the final point in any process note should be use your brain. Don't just follow the process
note. Just don't do it rote.
Follow the process note and then add value. And that is the difference, is follow the process note. Does it make sense? How can I add value, and how can I maximize this touch point with a key stakeholder or a client? So final point on every process note is zoom out. What are we doing here? Why are we here?
I love that, zoom out. That's really nice, because you can get stuck in the detail.
100%.
100%. And not see, it's a cliche, innit, but not see the wood for the trees.
And how many voice notes have we had where you're like, why is this employee behaving as an employee and not a business owner? And then you say it out loud and you're like,
because they're an employee and not a business owner. So that's been my week, and it's been fun to get out of the office and visit the guys from AccountingWeb. There's a dog in the office, and he's wearing a tie.
He's got a tie, his little marketing manager running around. He's really well behaved as well. We were both like, this is better than our dog.
My dog would be feral. I could not bring my dog to the office. Same. She's an absolute hooligan.
Literally same. And sharing data. I feel like you've shared some really, not confidential, but I'd say vulnerable data with me from an inside of the business perspective. And I feel like asking for help is just so... I feel really comfortable doing it with you, but sometimes I worry about business owners or practice owners who don't have a Lucy in their life, or somebody.
Oh, thanks.
But that one person to go to, be like, what do you do for this? That I don't feel shame in saying that. I don't feel embarrassed. I'm like,
because no one teaches you this stuff. You start in accountancy, especially. You start a business and you create a job for yourself, and then it goes well, and then you scale it. and then suddenly you're a boss and no one's taught you what you have to measure, why you have to measure it, and that actually those things are going to change. That session I did at the Digital Accounting Show, which was all about data, got such good feedback because so many people afterwards were like, it's fascinating the data you measure versus what we measure. Like the way that you measure your productivity is completely different to the way that we do, but entirely appropriate for both of us.
100%.
And that's, it's just kind of cool to share that, really.
And like any practice owner, I'm like, what are your core values and what are your KPIs? Like I can probably tell, like I can tell so much about you in the answer to those two questions.
Yeah, it's.
And if you don't know the answer to that question as well, that'll tell me a lot.
I like that we really quickly went from dogs straight back to data.
Back to data
Straight away.
Into the voice notes.
And then other things that have been great this week. Oh, you had I've got a penchant for luxury loungewear, as in I have like special pajamas that don't get worn to sleep in, but are special pajamas to wear around the house. And the reason I do this is because wearing something only around the house, not outside the house, not into bed, feels really deluxe. And I think that when you run a business, you don't often get those moments. There's a lot of kind of like blinkered, you're chasing after the goal, and you don't often take a lot of time to sort of celebrate yourself.
100%.
And buying yourself something deliberately deluxe.
Like, it's bougie.
Oh, it's so bougie.
And and I feel like for me it's like a dress. I have like a really beautiful like Laura Ashley dressing table, but like the pajamas, I only sit at it when I have headspace and when I'm like, this is an affirmation of not only who I am today, but who I want to be tomorrow. And I feel like if you only wear them when you're relaxing around the house, doing what you want, eating nice food, like relaxing, it's signaling to your brain, like, oh, we are relaxed.
And not only we're relaxed, but also that I bought myself a special thing for this moment so that I can enjoy it, and I'm not kind of, it's self-care. And
it's so for you.
It's only for you.
We don't want to see Adam in those pajamas.
I don't want to see anybody else wearing my silk pajamas ever. They're just for me. And if the dog tries to steal them, she's out.
Yeah. So life update. I bought some Ralph Lauren PJs and live my best life. So if you don't see me leave the house for the next 6 months, that's why. Because of the
pajamas. Yeah. Love it. That's it. That's been a week.
Amazing.
I like to keep these short. So tell us about your weeks. Drop a comment. I hope that those of you who didn't know Rachel do, and for those of you who don't know me, where have you been? But that's been a week in the life of this week, and I will catch you all again next week.